Hi team, good day. Thanks for watching this video. Uh, for the today's session, we are covering the three-tier architecture in ASP.NET Core 9.0. So agenda is for the today's session, like we will create the sample applications to defining the business logic layer, data access layer, and the presentation layers in a 9.0 ASP.NET Core MVC. So we can understand how we can create the views, model, and the controllers in 9.0 NetCore 9.0. Okay. So also we can understand the routings, how we can post the data, get the data. Okay. So that things we need to understand. Before that, going to the actual sessions. So my name is Saurabh Raut, having a 12 years experience in .NET, starting from the ASP.NET and all stuffs. So just we can focus on the today's sessions. Okay, just you can go to the Visual Studio. You can open that Visual Studio. Click on the Create project. You can select the blank solutions. Always, if you are working the large enterprise application or any real application, you need to create a blank solution. Here we have a blank solution template, which is provided by the Microsoft. You can select a blank solution. Click on the next. You can define the your product name. Okay. So always, if you are working with the product, you can mention the uh, product name as a shortcut or a long cut. It will be appending your multi-level project names. Okay, so if I am selecting here, IT Bootstrap is my product. Okay, so I have put the location will be a equivalent projects. Click on the create button. So here, if you see, the empty solution will be created successfully. Okay. Now you can add the multiple project for under this empty solutions. Okay. First project will be a presentation project. Okay. Just click on the add new project. Click on the ASP.NET Core web application model view controller, which is support for the net cores. Like netcode, that means it should be a support multiple operating system, either Windows, Linux, Ubuntu. Okay, click on the next button. Then you can select your project names. Okay, here I will be a my blank solution name. My template name it should be a IT Bootstrap. Then your project name should be a IT Bootstrap. Will be a appending the word, okay, and then which is the project names. Suppose you are creating a presentation layer, okay, then your project name should be like that, IT Bootstrap dot presentations. Okay, then you we have already created a blank solution. If you go to the this project solution, this is the blank solution SLN files. Okay. So under this SLN file, you need to add multiple projects. So you need to select the location equivalent project IT Bootstrap backslash. Okay. Inside this location, you need to add the presentation project. Okay. IT Bootstrap dot presentation layers. You can mention the layer also for the understanding, because we are the we are working on a basic design pattern, that is the three tier architectures. This is our presentation layer where we are mentioning the proper project name like product name and layer of the presentations. Click on the next buttons. Okay, after clicking the next button, we have an option to select the network framework, the configuration of the Docker and the container, HTTPS, secure and the non-secure. Now I'm creating a sample project, so I will not allocate to the certificate because it's a local. So I will deselect that configure HTTPS. Okay, if you are selecting this HTTPS, then you need to configure the secure certificate on IIS for your domains. Okay, where we need to go IIS, we have two type of certificates: central configurations for that domain and local configuration for that particular domain. We'll see the next sessions how to create certificate, how to configure a certificate to the website. Okay, these are the steps. We'll create another video for that one. Now you can focus the simple netcore and without the HTTPS. Click on the create. Okay, now one project will be creating the under the IT Booster blank solutions. Okay, if you see the solution will be IT Booster and your project name will be a IT Booster dot presentation there. Okay, just for the verification, you can go to the that physical locations. If you see here, in a physical locations, that folder will be coming outside the solution. If you see IT Booster, clicking the Booster folder, it should be a visible the SLN file and outside the all project list. Okay, this is the IT Booster presentation. Yes, all files related to that presentation layer inside the that particular folder. Okay. Now, second steps, we need to add two more layers, two more class library project for the business layer and the data access layers. Okay. How we are adding the class library? Just right click on the solutions, click on the add new project. Here you can select the class library which is supported to the netcore like because our main project is a netcore, so we need to create all dependency project inside a net course. Okay, just click on the next. You can define the again same naming convention you can follow your product name IT Booster dot. Okay, so what kind of project you are creating, you need to mention the project name. Suppose if I am creating a business layers. Okay, then you can mention the business layer. Okay, again like it's a part of your solution. Then you can select okay that particular locations. IT Booster dot business layers. Click on the next. Here you have select the versions. It should be a similar version. We need to select for the dependence project on a basis of the main project. Okay, main project version will be selected as a 9.0. Then we need to create all dependency project. It should be a version 9.0. Okay, so if you see here, we have created IT Bootstrap dot business layers. Okay, so it's created a default class we need to remove, okay, because we have created a customized classes. Now third project we need to add to communicate the actual database. Okay, just click on the add new project. You can select as a class library. Okay, then you can define the same naming convention which is we have defined the earlier project. Okay, this is the data access layers. Okay, this particular project should be a communicate to the SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, again we can select the basic location of the this particular project. Okay, click on the next, select the versions and click on the create. Okay, so all project we have defining into a single solutions. If you go to the solution again, okay, if you see all dependency folders are created outside the solution. If I'm clicking the SNN file, it should be a all project will be a loading inside a one umbrella, or we can say one template on one solutions. Okay, so now we are defining the layers. Okay, so we can understand the each layer purpose. So presentation layer, basically we are keeping the all UI related things inside the presentation layers. So which are the UI related things? First, like CSS classes, JS classes, VS. Okay, like VS means your visual designing, yes, HTML pages, view. So all information we will keep into the presentation layer. Okay. If you see here the folder structure, your startup will be a program files, app setting where we can keep the configuration things. Okay. Again, we have the view model and the controller. So root will be it's a container where we can keep the all content, all files. okay, which is required to run our applications. Okay. Now we will delete models folder from the presentation layer because we are keeping all models or all entities inside the business logic layers. Okay. So if you go to here business logic layer, you need to create one more folder that is called as in models. Okay. Here you can keep the all models which is required to this particular product. Okay. For example, for the today's session, we will cover the company masters. Okay. That inside a company, we can select a company ID, company name, and a company address. Okay. Here you can create a model. How we are creating a model? Or just you can create a model folder inside a business layer project. Then right click on a model folder and click on the add class. Okay, here you can create a company class. Click on that. Okay, here you can remove the unnecessary namespace which is not required to our solutions. Okay, you can change this access specifier. We have multiple access specifier like public, protected internal, private internal. Okay, so every class has a default access specifier, that is the internal. Internal is the default access specifier of the class. Okay, so I will mark as a public because public it should be accessible outside the project. Okay, because if you see here, business layer is a different project, and that business layer it should be accessible into data access layer or presentation layers. If I am putting an internal access specifier, internal will be accessible inside the project. Okay, inside the project we can access every classes that particular class. If I mark as an internal, but outside the project we can't access those classes and those members and the member functions which is available inside that the internal class. So that's why like I have done as a public. Okay, then here we need to define the models. Okay, I will create a three properties. First property will be a company ID. Okay, just you can change as a company ID. Okay, second property you can define public string as a company name. Okay, and the third property will be a company address. Okay, public string company address. Then we can put as a get and a set. Okay, this is our the model we have run. Okay, if you see here we are getting the owner. Okay, now you need to define as a nullable. Okay, here we can define as a nullable because it's asking that this is a new feature inside a 9.0. We need to define any default values or we can keep as a nullable variables. Okay, so now we have done the repository, inside a business layer, we have done the model creations. Now we need to define the some interfaces here, uh, for example, if I'm creating a company repository, we need to create a some interface here. Okay, add new folder. You can I repository. Okay, you can create a folder that is called as a I repository. Okay, you can keep all interfaces. Okay, inside this folder. Okay, now we need to create a one interface. How we are creating interface? Just right click on the I repository folder, click on the class. Okay, here you can mention the I company repository. Okay, I company repository. Just click, and here you can change public as a interface. Okay, just you can select three methods here: public, list of. If we are loading the company's list, then we need to select as a company, and here you can mark as a property. So company, we need to include the namespace. Okay, like models. Then here will be a creating a list method. Okay, you can remove the unnecessary namespace which is burden on the our CLR. Same we can create different methods for the create, get by ID, update. Okay. Always we can return for the create. Okay. You need to pass as a company, as a model. Okay. You have done the create. Same you can define as a public integer update. Okay. And the company. Then we need to define for the get by ID public company get by ID. Okay. Here you need to pass the ID parameters. Okay. So here you can define the company. So here we have created a list method, create method, update method, get by ID methods. Okay. We need to some implementation on that particular methods. Okay. Where we need to implement that interfaces, we need to implement that interface inside the data access layers. Okay. So here you can create one more folder that is called as a add repository. Okay. Here you can create a company repository. Just create one class, company repository. And that company repository, it should be a access from the business layers. Okay. So here you can inherit that I company repository. You need to add a reference. Okay. Which reference we need to add? The business logic layer. If you see here the business layer, I will adding the references. Again, we need to keep the public. Okay. So how many methods we have declared the I company repository? We have the force. Okay. All methods we need to implement inside the company repository. Okay. So here I will return new list of companies. Okay, we'll see the next session the actual ADO.NET connections, how it works. Okay, we will create the same example inside the ADO.NET and the entity framework as well. Okay, same methods. We have the another one that is for the create. Okay, so I will copy this the time being. Here you can define public integer create. Okay, then here again like we'll just return the values. We can keep as one. Okay. Public integer create. Here you need to pass as a company object. Same change you can follow for the update. Copy, Control C, Control V. Okay. Instead of create, you need to implement update. Okay. And one more that is the public prod company. Then get by ID. We need to follow the ID. Here you can define the company and here you can return. Okay. Here we have implemented those four methods which is we have defining the interfaces. Okay. Now that red icon will be a disk appearing. Okay. This is we have done for the repository, iRepository and the models. Okay. Now third steps, we need to call this repository into our main controller for do the R&D part. Okay. Here we need to define the company controllers. Okay. We will create a new controller that is company controller where we can manage the things. Okay. I will add controller, MVC controller. Okay, here you can select as a company. Okay, then you need to define the company views. Okay, public I action result company. Okay, after creating this action methods, we need to define the views. Add views. Just click on the result view. You can select option partial view and the layout. Okay, then I will click on the add buttons. First wait, something wrong happened when we are company creations. I will cancel. Here we have created one action method, public action result, and your view will be a company. Okay, then just click on the add view. Something. Here, sorry, we need to define the return. Okay, return views. Then we'll create a add views, result view, add. Now it should be create a empty view where we can defining the list of companies and the create and the update button. I don't know the projected some issues. Let me compile the project first. If anything, we are receiving the errors. Okay, so we have deleted the model folder. Okay, respective views we need to remove. That is the uh, errors model. Wherever we are displaying the error view model, we need to remove the those stubs areas. Again, you can compile. We are getting the error. That's why like our project will be not running. You can remove this method. You can remove this namespace and recompile again. Recompile. Then you have the errors. You can remove these lines. Okay, this will be expired now. Okay, now we can create the views. Company repository. Okay, so get by the list. Okay, now we need to create the company controller that is called as a gate. It will be creating company views. Okay. Now here we have created a company view. Okay. Now we need to define the routings. Okay. We can define the routing in VS 9.0 where we need to define the we need to go into a presentation layer. Okay, inside a presentation layer, we have option that is the project program.cs files. Okay, so here company list. I will create that is called as a company list. Okay, here we'll create a table. First here will be a TR. Okay, inside TX we need to table header that is called as a company ID. Then second line will be a second column should be a company name and the third one will be a company address. Company name. Sorry guys. Keyboard is not- Okay, company name, company address, and one more button which is required for the action. Now same things here you can uh, sorry guys in some keyboard issues. The PR was closed. Second TR, we need to define the TDs. The company ID will be one. I will put as a hardcore matrix now. Okay. TD. Second TD will be a IT bootstrap company name. Okay. Third TR TD will create for the company address. Here, banner. Okay, and third column we have the actions. Okay, so how many actions we have? View, edit, and delete. Okay, like for example, in ASP.NET Core, if I am creating an anchor tag, we have a special syntax that is the A. Then we need to define the controller. Okay, so that's it. A, E, D. Then we have A. Then ASP controller. Controller name should be a company. Then we have the ASP action. Company list. Okay, here ASP will be double. You can remove. So Once ready, here we can use as a list. Then secondary same rows we can copy, that is same line you can copy. Here company will be here. I will edit view. Here we need to pass as a ID. And edit list and delete. Copy one more line. Here we have edit list. Here view and update. Okay, so here we have created a three buttons perfectly. One for the listing, one for the it ID. Here we need to define the action edit for the update and the areas will be a company. Now, third, next steps, we have done the configuration on the files. Now we have defined the model. We have defined the repository. Also, we have done the for the I repository class. Okay, next steps. Now we have defined the dummy data or returning a normal values because we have not ready for the SQL connections. Okay, now we are getting the one error that is for the speech controller. ASP controller company, ASP action this one, edit. And same for the anchor tag. This is for the update. And here we have view. Anchor tag ASP controller, then your action and then edit and anchor close. Here second will be update, then anchor close, then same steps for the third one also. Okay, we'll see. Still it's closing. Companies update views. But I don't think why this anchor tag is getting error. We can't hold the company. Yeah, correct. Okay. So here we have done the simple listing page. Now we need to create the menus. Okay. So how we are creating a menu? We need to go to the layout page. Okay. This is the menu list. Okay. We have for the default one. Now we can create for the companies. Okay. So here the now blank is the area we have not defining. Then your page name will be a company. Actions will be a company. And the controllers will be a, what is the name of the controller? Company controller. I think so. Complete views. So here we have written the services. Now we have run the company. Okay. Simply here we can create the one more table. Outside the table, we can create a one div. Inside the div tag, we can define the ASP controller. Okay, so here anchor tag you can define array for here is p hyphen controller company. Okay, then action should be a get or create or list. Sorry, this is the list menu. Create. Create. Okay, so these are the three actions we have created. To list. So I will copy this div and will put about the tables. Okay. So now we have defining the menus company. So areas will be a company. Now you can define the applications. Okay. So now this web application has created one menu. After clicking this, we can load the companies and the list of companies. So after clicking company menu, we need to redirect company and the action should be a what is the actions we have created? Company. Here we need to define the enumerable. Okay, simply we have created. Okay, we cannot pass anything inside the layout. We have company and a company. Company controller calendar. We have created a companies. So no, we can't change because already we have created. If you see here company, we have company.cshtml. That is we are good. Okay, after clicking company, still it's not returning. So we have mistake here, company controller. Okay, I will change the name COMPANY, Control C. I will go to here, F12, rename, Control P. Click on enter. Yes. Now we can see rerun the applications. If you see here, clicking the company, still it's not coming. PANY, P action method also we can change here. COMPANY, and we need to go to the here PNAY. Now run the application again. Perfect. This time we need to get the still something happened. Invalid operation, the view company was not found. The following locations. They have searched the company, but it's not found because we have changed the view name. If you see here, the spell we have created as a company, then we need to change inside the here and the view names. Okay, now run the application. The company has not found. Good. We'll create add views, eraser, add. Okay, so we have the spelling mistake. We'll copy here, Control A, Control C, and we'll paste here. Okay, and what the folder will be, we can delete because spell mistake was there. Now it will work. Company, that breakpoint is coming perfectly, and we are returning the data. If you see here, we have created a company list. We have defining the one table, but table structure was not coming. So where we need to change the code here, table class, we need to apply class as a tables. Okay, here also we can apply the class that is for the btn space btn hyphen primary. Okay, control S. Rerun the applications. Okay, just expand, click on the company. I will remove the debuggers, click on continue. If you see here, create company, after clicking the create company, one page will be need to open. Okay, on the create one, and here edit, update, and the view buttons we need to remove visibles. Okay, now we can understand how it works. Okay, so first our controller point will be goes to the program.cs. Here we need to define the some repositories. Okay, here company repository and the iCompany repository. We need to resolve the dependencies. Okay, for the interfaces. How we are resolving the dependencies? We need to resolve the dependencies into a program.cs files. Okay, just you need to add these lines. Services dot add scope. Okay, and here you can mention the iCompany repository is dependent on company repository. Okay, so we need to add the references, business layers, and the data access layers. Okay, so here we have resolved the dependencies. So we are good. That is the implementation part, declaration part, model we have created, and inside a controller. Okay, here we need to defining the post method. How we are defining HTTP post. Okay, then we need to create one action method, public I action result. Okay, and here you can define it as a create. Okay. Here you can do the actual logic. Before that, we need to initialize the constructor here, okay, to resolve the dependencies. Here as a public company controller, and then here you can initialize the our services. Okay, so you can define as a private variable iCompany repository. Okay, you can create a local variable underscore company repository, and same variable you can define inside the constructor as a parameter because we need to resolve the dependencies, and this you can align that parameters here is equal to company repository. Okay, so now you can access all methods available inside this interface repository. Okay, for example, if we are creating a company, you need to create the methods. Okay. And these methods will require the company. So here all data will be coming as a company and creating an object of company. And that object you need to pass here. Okay. Now, after creating a company, you need to redirect the uh, on list page. Okay, how we are redirect the to another action in netcore. We have the method called as a return redirect to access. Okay, redirect to action. You need to mention the companies. Okay, company views. Okay, just you can put a debugger here and try to create. Okay, just we need to create one action method for the create public I action result create. Okay, and simply you can return as a views. Okay, here you can create an empty view where we can add the data. Okay, click on the add view, reserve view, click on the add, create. It's a creating a view under the company controllers. Okay, and from that controller we can defining the razor control which is available for the ASP.NET course. Okay, if you want to create a forms inside ASP.NET course, then you can use the razor helpers. Okay, here create company. I will create some create company. Then you can define a forms. Okay, here form. Before that, you can just add the models. Okay, at the rate model space company. Okay, now where we have created a company inside the business logic layer, we need to use the namespace here models like this way dot company. Okay, so here we have created a company. Okay, so here we need to create a form tag. Okay, in network we have a form tag, and inside a form tag we need to mention the all element. Okay, for example, after submitting this form we need to redirect to the http post. Okay, so we need to mention the controller name. We have a attribute ASP controller. Here you need to mention the controller name. Okay, so here we have mentioned, and we have another attribute that is the action. Which action we need to redirect after submitting this, okay, forms. So I will put as a create and the type. Method will be a post. Okay. So we have done the redirections routing. Okay. After clicking this form, all data will be automatically posting into the company controller and the create action methods. Now you need to defining the uh, input. Okay, here you need to define as input ASP-4. So ASP-4 it will be a netcore attribute for the text box. Okay, if you are mentioning the input, it will create a text box. Okay, then you need to define the company name appending of that text box. So this will be create a one text box for the company address. You can same for the company address. Okay. Then you need to define the one button that is for the button type should be a submit because we are submitting the forms, and name should be a submit. Okay. this form will be creating. Now you can run the application. We can visible some two controls and one buttons. Okay. So just click on the company. All company data will be appearing. After creating a company, we need to redirect. Now we need to mention the here create company. Okay, where we have defined the company.cshtml. I will stop the applications. Go to the views company.cshtml. Okay, here we need to define the create. Okay, because we are creating a company. Now it should be a redirect to the company controller and the create action methods. Company, create company. If you see here, after submitting the data, okay, it should be a redirect to the company. Now we are passing as a blank data, so it will be a coming as a nulls. Okay, so once we have done that, again it will be a populating into a create company. Okay, I will fill up the data here and click on the submit. Again, all data will be appearing into the this model object. Okay, you can create the actual logic for the create method. So this is the dependency resolutions. You can create this empty project, okay, like business layer, data access layer, presentation layer. Okay, inside a presentation layer, we have created a company controller. Inside a company controller, we have created a one company views where we are defining or returning the all active companies. Okay, and we have two methods, one more two method, one for the get for the create and one for the post for the creating a companies. Okay, so here two views all be present inside the companies. Again, we have the program.cs file. We have defining the scope of the objects. We have mapping into I company repository into a company repository for the dependency resolutions. Okay, so again, inside the data access layer, we have defining the repository folders. Inside the repository, we have mentioning the company repository. Here, actual logic will be coming to communicate to the database. You can use the edu.net framework or you can use the entity framework. Next video, we can try to implement the edu.net for to complete these examples. Okay. Then again, we have the business access layer. We have defining the models and the interfaces. Okay. If you see that inside a company controller, we are calling the interface. So company repository is the object of iCompany repository. And if I am going to the implementations or a definition, it will be a goes to the iCompany repository. Okay, because this is the interface, and we can set the interface definition to hide the complexity of the data or functions from the end users. So here we are not displaying the actual logic of the create methods. We are hiding from the users. So that is the definitions. So guys, this is the session one. We'll continue for the session two for the actual DB connections audio.net. Okay, we have the namespace for the netcore microsoft.data.sql client. Using that namespace, we will try to connect the SQL database using C# ASP.NET Core. So for this session, we are understanding the layers. We are creating a project. We are trying to defining the interfaces, repository, models, dependency injections. Okay, just like we have created a structure of the basic examples. Next session, we'll try to implement actual DB connections and the actual some procedure. We will create a table procedure and try to write some codes. So thanks for watching these videos. Hope you will get more idea about the ASP.NET course, how it works using 3-tier applications. Thank you guys. Bye bye.